my girlfriend's gonna hate me for telling this story, but I'm gonna do it anyways. I actually have an ass tattoo of Interstellar, and so
that's great.
You know the spaceship he takes into the black hole at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So I have that spaceship going towards my black hole. And,
no, you do not, dude.
I'm not going to show it here. I'm not going to disrespect.
Come on, dude. YouTube. We're looking for subscribers. Come on, dog.
Hey, you know what? If you really want to see it, go request Tall Connor. That's my private account. I'll let you in. You can see it's on that Instagram.
All right, cool. So, all right, I'll do it. I don't know that I actually am going to do that. But no,
it's fine. You don't have to. Don't worry. You don't have to see my ass, Brandon. It's okay. You do not.
No. That. Hey, look. Not yet. Anyway, I want to court you a little bit.
Did I tell you about my Albatross? Hey, yo, here we go. Come on.
Welcome to another episode of Did I Tell You About My Albatross? I'm your host, Albi. This is the golf podcast for honest degenerates. It's like teaming up with your favorite foursome every week and diving into the best stories in and around golf. You guys ready to tee off? Let's go!
We out here chilling on the right side of the green. Sip a little something and we working on.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Did I Tell You About My Albatross? I'm your host, Albi. Boy, do we have a good one for you tonight. We have Connor Boyd, the tall golfer on Instagram. The tall golfer is here, folks, and you're probably asking why. Like, why would Brando, better known as Albi, have the tall golfer on it? And it's easy because this guy had a very special moment last week, and we're gonna dive all into it. I feel like we're joined at the hip because you got an albatross, and everyone knows that after you get an albatross, you got to come on. Did I tell you about my albatross?
First off, I just want to say I'm super excited to be on this podcast. Like the fact that Matt Scharff, one of my idols, has been on this. The fact that you guys, like, there's a community of Albatrosses, whatever we're gonna call each other. Like, I love that so much. So. I'm Connor. I'm from the LA area. The tall golfer on Instagram. Nice and simple. I am 6'9". If you're not watching this on video, then I'm sorry, but I'm going to show everyone at home because everyone doesn't believe me. So we're gonna just show everyone that a normal doorway is 6'8". For those wondering.
Wow.
And there's my head going
That's great.
to above it.
Well, dude, you know what's crazy? So I can do that too. Now look, this is an illusion. It's all an illusion here. So I'm gonna turn the camera. Watch it. So. All right.
Okay. All right.
Watch.
All right.
Look at that. Now you're probably like, "Wow, he's tall too." I'm only 5'11". So, but the reason that's like that is because I'm doing this out of a shed, dude. This is a shed. So I'm literally in my backyard in a shed, and in Tough Shed, we're waiting on our sponsorship money. Send it. So you're in the LA area, and you used to actually, I think you used to play on some of the tours out there, right?
Yeah. So it used to be called. The Golden State Tour, and now they've combined, I believe, with the Outlaw Tour in Arizona to be the Asher Tour. And so I was playing on that for about a year or two of my life, and it was one of those, I've got no wife, I don't have a kid, like I have time to just pursue a dream. Luckily, I got laid off from COVID, so it kind of pushed that dream forward. And pursued that, was working, like I said, liquor store job at night, and just trying to pursue a dream. And unfortunately, there are some really, really, really good golfers out there.
It's crazy, like the different layers of players. I mean, like I was sharing with you, man, like we've got, some really, really good golfers at our club. Some of our friends they were on the Korn Ferry Tour. They've been on some of the mini tours and stuff, and they're the best golfers I've ever seen in my life. And then the layer above that, to be on tour. And then you have a couple layers even between, like, the number one compared to, like, in between the guys that just made it on tour. It's just crazy to me. Like, it is absolutely crazy.
It really is insane because, like, for instance, I went to the Good Open.
Oh, you did?
Like, speaking of Matt Scharff.
Did you really? Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
I was at the Good
How was
Open.
it?
It was awesome. It was a great time. They were all the nicest guys I've ever met. Like, everyone who was there who's a creator was taking the time to take a picture with anyone and everyone. It was a great
awesome.
time. But like, they're really good. They are some semi-pro, pro, and like Luke Kwan, used to play on some of the Asian tours. And so it's insane to go to that. And then the next day we went to Waste Management. And it's like, okay, that was fun golf. Those guys are really good. This is another level. And like when you try and watch it and say, oh, well, I could I could shoot a 77 out there. Yeah, maybe in normal conditions, you're not shooting a 77 at Waste Management in tour conditions. No. I'm sorry. Like I've done that life. I thought I was a good golfer. I was +2 at one point, +2.5, like was just crushing it. It didn't matter. These 14-year-olds were smoking me. Like Charlie Woods would come around, not actually Charlie Woods, but the next Charlie Woods would come around and just wax me by 10 strokes. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get into another hobby, another job. This is going to be I should say another career. This is going to be a hobby now.
I'm older. Like I'm 43. So like I'm, for me growing up, like, dude, you could get a scholarship if you shoot like the mid 70s. Like it's crazy. Like, I mean, now it's like, dude, there's no, like we have guys at our club even. And I mean, again, these are like +3, +4 players and they can't even get a scholarship, dude.
I think golf truly exploded because of, Tiger Woods for my era. I think during COVID, people were like, oh, wow, I have nothing to do. Let's go outside and be in the most manicured, beautiful nature of all time, which is why I love golf. Like you're just in the most beautiful scenic areas. And then after that happened, it like Waste Management got shut down for alcohol sales and like ticket sales. That's a golf tournament. That's not Coachella. That's not EDC. That's a golf tournament that's getting shut down for alcohol sales and too many people crowding the gates. Like it's the skill level of these players that are up and coming is unbelievable because it's the new basketball. It's the new NFL. Like, personally, I don't know how people are going to think about that, but I think it's blowing up.
Well, so. I think even like with Full Swing and like, you got you have such momentum. I think Liv and PGA makes it more polarizing. I know it's a lot of people are like, no, it's division now and it's going to dilute it. But dude, I think it's great because it's in the news a lot more. So, all right, let's get into the story, and yeah. So everyone knows we've done this now 2 times, you and I, and it was all dude. My first investment in the first employee is going to absolutely be a producer. We're gonna buy a producer. We're not gonna have this happen again. But dude, you just told me the most amazing story, and I want everyone to hear this, and it just wasn't recorded. That's what happened. Okay, I'll just admit it. So yeah, just if you can paint a picture of what happened last week, where were you?
For the first time ever, let me tell you this story. We're at Mauna Kea in Hawaii, and we are at number 9, which is 342 yards away. And things are going well. We're playing against my dad and my uncle's buddy, and I'm with another one of my uncle's buddy. And
what were their names again?
Yeah, here's a funny little tidbit. That's Erin and Darren, because, why wouldn't it be these 2 people for this story?
Love that. Yes.
And so my partner, Darren, hits a ball right down the middle, and I have a 4-iron in my hand, and he goes, dude, come on. Like, I've seen the way you've been hitting the ball. Like, you crush it. You're gigantic. Like, just get your driver out. I'm in the middle. Just go for the green. We'll win the hole no matter what. So I was like, all right, great. So I run back to the cart. I grab my driver. I run back.
So pause, tall golfer. Dude, all right. So this is just brilliant to me. Like Darren is an unsung hero. You got a couple heroes in this whole saga.
Shout out Darren.
We love you, Darren. You made this happen, dude. All right.
Darren,
sorry. Go ahead.
I told everyone, like, it was also the shot heard around the hotel. We'll get to that, but like,
yep.
Darren is the only reason why the Mauna Kea Resort knows of Connor Boyd and the tall golfer.
Oh, that's amazing, Darren.
Darren, I love you. Thank you, Shaka, Lim Shaka. So Darren tells me to get my driver, go back to the tee box, and I smashed this drive. It was awesome. It felt great. Little high draw, lands right in the fringe, in between the 2 bunkers protecting the green. I was just stunned it got there because I was like, oh my God, that's a great shot.
Right. Aaron, how far was it? It was 300 and it was a par 4.
342 yards.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that's almost the same yardage that Matt Scharff had on his second one.
I think so.
Which is I think you're right. Wild. So anyways, lands on the fringe. Erin starts going, oh my God, that's going in the hole. That's going to go in. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And it disappears, and my pessimistic self thinks, no, that's probably in the, that's behind the flag. It's got to be behind the flag. And Erin starts screaming to like the freaking marshals and the people on hole 18.
Aaron
we got a hole in one on a par 4.
Yes.
We got a hole in one on a par 4.
Shout out to Erin for like believing in it. Like I love it. I love Erin and Darren. They're great.
Erin was so confident from the tee box, and me and my dad were like, I don't know if this is like my dad is the fourth of all people. It was amazing. So my dad is there. He runs to the cart to get his phone, and that's when the videos started that I posted on Instagram. It was me on the tee box, like I don't think it would, like I don't see a ball, but I don't know. Like Aaron's freaking out. Aaron is screaming, like the marshal is now following us down to the hole.
So did he see it go in? He must have seen it go in then, right? Like he must have actually seen it.
Like, the marshal was right at the tee box, like behind our carts, waiting for us to tee off. We were not playing slow, by the way. We were very fast. So he was just making his rounds. He was just making his rounds, and he pulls up behind us, and he's just losing it with us. He's like, "No way! I can't believe it!" And I was like, "I don't know. Like, don't get too excited. I don't know."
Yeah, right.
So the videos are just me driving down the cart path. I wanted to make the run. I really did. But if you ever go to Mauna Kea number 9, you'll know why I didn't. You'll know why I didn't. So I jump in the cart. My dad's videoing. He's like, "What just happened?" I'm like, "I think I just hit a hole in one on a par 4. I don't really know. I don't see a ball on the green. I don't see a freaking ball on the green. I don't know what to do." And then I pull up and I sprint up to the hole, and I couldn't see it at first because it was it was like on the close side, so I didn't know if it was there or not. And I look over and I see it, and I let out I felt like I had just won the Super Bowl. It was like, like it felt like I was playing the Rock Johnson, like flexing out of his like Hercules chains or something. It was amazing.
So when it happened, like when you saw that it went in, like what are some of the like? Do you even remember what that feeling felt like? Was it a blur?
The hole in one and Albatross in one.
So you didn't have a hole in one before? You didn't.
I never had a hole in one. Wow. I've hit flag sticks. I've zipped it back across the hole. I've lipped out of a hole. Like it's just
so crazy.
It is, and
it's
I've witnessed like around 12 to 14 hole-in-ones myself because I worked.
Any Albatrosses? Any Albatrosses beside you?
No Albatrosses. Like it was, and so it was just I literally just threw my hat and like put my hands over my head and just like started. I couldn't believe it. I started looking at like I'm in Hawaii at a resort course, like at my dad's favorite hotel where he used to go all the time when he was, being taken by his company 10 years ago. It's like, it was just surreal. It's surreal. Like, I don't know if anyone believes in like the manifest destiny thing, but like my girlfriend and I, we shout out Erin Patrick. She's a beauty. Thank you for loving me and supporting me.
Oh, so that's your girlfriend. So we got another Erin. So we got Erin. Happy birthday. That's your sister.
Oh yeah.
Sister had a birthday.
Yeah, so that's a wild part of the story. This was on my sister's birthday, February 16th. Dude. Shout out to Colleen Boyd. Hey, and Colleen. So my girlfriend Erin, who thank you for loving me when I was a semi-pro golfer and trying to make it on the PGA Tour as a bad golfer, and I cannot do that. But apparently, plus 2.5 handicap doesn't make it. But so I FaceTime her immediately. I jump in the cart. I FaceTime Erin. And
that's cool.
Babe, I just got a hole in one on a par 4. And her eyes, like...
Did she get it? She got it?
Because, like, she knows. Like, she knows. She's been watching me chase this all the time. She actually is. She bought her own golf clubs on Amazon without me even saying she should, without anything.
Oh, my God. This is a keeper, dude. Babe. You need to put a ring on this one, dude.
Hey, we are actually moving in 7 days together, so we are
awesome, man. Cool.
This is the one. Erin is the one.
Oh, dude, you heard it here. Wow, this is
you heard it here first, guys.
Yeah. No, well, first of all right, couple things. I just want to back up a little bit. So, couple things. Sorry. No, dude, no, this is great. First of all, it's an amazing story. The thing I love about it, a couple things. You have lots of heroes in it. You got Erin and Darren, right? Wouldn't have happened without Darren.
That feels like a movie. Like I got Erin.
It's crazy.
And Darren.
Like a lot of things had to happen here. He had to tell you to go back to the cart to get it. Like that's serendipity. Like I mean, dude, there's just something there. All right, then the fact that your dad, like, so I've told the story before. I know, like everyone. By the way, you can fast forward this part, but for context, the Albatross I had. Member tournament, last day of the tournament, last hole, last shot.
Hey, take your time. This is a good story. This is a good story.
Most people, if they're listening, they've probably heard it. So let me just tell your people, since they'll be tuning in because they'll be listening to you. So yeah, for context, we had a 2-day tournament, member at Carrollwood Country Club. We finished on this hole, Pine 1, and it was a par 5. I hit a good drive, 247 out. My second shot, 3-wood, goes in. And our buddies were waiting for us. Andy, shout out Sea Turtle, and Nick. They were waiting for us when we got to the green. And Andy looked at me and goes, "Hey man, did you hit a good shot?" And I'm like, "It was the best 3-wood I hit in my life." He goes, "Okay, well yeah, it went over." So I start looking for this thing, couldn't find it. Finally, I'm like, "Andy, where the hell is this ball?" And he goes, "It went in the hole, dude." And that, we lost our mind, just like kind of what you described. But the crazy part was when we went in and we turned our scorecard in, and they said, "Oh, yeah, you're actually 3 shots back going into that last hole. So with that, you tied for the tournament win." And we do a Calcutta here, it was like thousands of dollars. It was like, but again, dude, I told you before before I forgot to hit record, dude, I thought I was gonna be famous. I say that every time I describe this. I thought I was gonna be famous. Scott Van Pelt, shout out. So on every episode, I always mention Scott Van Pelt and Chris Paul. I'll get to Chris Paul here in a minute because I want to talk to you about basketball too in a minute. But I say that on every episode because I thought I was gonna be interviewed by him. I thought for sure I was gonna be on Jimmy Fallon. I thought I was gonna be making my rounds. No one cared about my golf shot, so I started a podcast about albatrosses. And more importantly, dude, this is why I tell all of that in the backstory, because more importantly, I tell it for those moments that's like the albatross-like moments. Now, very rarely, the reason I want to have all the people that get albatrosses on here is because they absolutely get it, and you absolutely understand the rarity of it, 1 in 6 million. So it's totally insane. It is, dude. It's totally people and if you tell someone that doesn't understand golf fully, or even people that golf, they're like, "Oh yeah, but a hole in one. I mean, that's hard." They don't even fully get that a hole in one's 1 in 17,000. So the difference between an albatross, and then I don't even know what the odds are. I'm gonna even give you more props because the odds on a 1 on a par 4 have got to be even crazier. I don't even know.
I've watched the Matt Scharff video, both hole-in-ones, by the way. Now that he has 2, I can't believe that.
It's crazy. And
both
filmed.
Hole-in-ones on par 4s. It's seeing it become real is a wild feeling. And so, anyone out there who doesn't believe that you can just do anything you want, I promise you can.
You mentioned Matt Scharff. The fact that he wanted to come on here and talk about albatrosses just goes to show you, what he thinks about, how rare he thinks. And I told him in the email when I reached out to him, hey man, we've got this special bond. This is crazy. I sent him the story, and sure enough, to his credit, he came on, killed it. He was such a great guest. He felt just he was saying the same stuff you are. He's just kind of still in awe, and he loved talking about it because it just helped him remember that. You can tell he was reliving that moment over and over. And and I saw you mentioned it earlier about how he was running towards the I just love those videos because it is it's just joy. It is pure joy.
Him screaming no, I did not. No, I did not.
I know. Really, what my point was is that you were able to share it. Obviously, we love Erin and Darren, but the fact you were able to share it with your dad, dude, is just, it was bitter. When I got mine, dude, I was actually telling Matt this, Matt Scharff when he was on, it was bittersweet for me because when I asked him, I'm like, who did you call when it happened? Obviously you called your bride, hopefully your bride to be in the future. It sounds like
exactly,
you guys are on a good track.
Oh yeah, yes. 100%.
But and he said the same thing. He said, at the time it was my girlfriend, Maddie, but I actually, when it happened to me, the one person that I really wanted to call was my dad. He's the one that got me into golf. He's the guy that would dude, he'd lose his mind if it and unfortunately he had passed away. So I didn't, and I called my wife. My wife was like, "Okay, that's great, but I've had the kids for all day. Can you get back here soon?" Because I'm like, "No, no, this is the most amazing moment of my
no, she, what just happened?"
she figured it out later, but I love that your wife or girlfriend, I love that she understood it and that she actually got it right away. That's pretty cool. After that moment happened, you obviously are celebrating and everything. Everyone's losing their mind. Walk me through what happened next.
Yeah. So it's the weirdest thing. I felt like I was on Mars because I get a hole in one on a par 4 albatross. I FaceTime my girlfriend. She tells a story that I was in shock. She was like, you weren't celebrating. You were just telling me what had happened. It was just factual. There was no celebration. I was I don't know, because for me, I was in my mind, I was babe, I got a hole in one, and I'm freaking out. But she said it was more almost in shock. And so I am just looking at my dad like, I can't believe that just happened. I can't. This is your favorite hotel. You've come here your whole life.
Crazy,
this is
dude.
this is now going to be the place for us. And so drive up to the clubhouse. Essentially, there's like the golf shop and then the resort clubhouse.
Yeah.
And I pull up and I walk in and I go, hey, I just got a hole in one on a par 4, 342 yards. Like, can you believe it? And I swear it was like I had said the sky was blue or grass is green.
Who are these people?
They looked at me like I was just some normal guy. And I looked at the bartender like anything. And he just goes, cool. What do you want to drink? And I was like, okay, well, I guess this is going to be the cheapest hole-in-one I'm ever going to get in my life. Like, I haven't had any others, but I know you're supposed to buy people drinks. But if nobody wants anything, I'm going to buy me, my dad, Erin, Darren, and anyone else who actually gives a shit anything. Sounds good. But other than that, it was just me and my dad and Erin and Darren drinking to celebrate. Oh, the cart lady actually... was the most supportive out of anyone on the course. She was like,
even the marshal that was watching you?
I will say, I tried to take a picture with the marshal, and he didn't really understand why I was trying to take a picture. He's like, oh, you want a picture of you too? I was like, no, like with you. You're the guy, like, I got you.
That guy should want a picture with you.
I want a picture with you.
Yes, exactly. You're trying to help him out. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and so the cart lady at least gave us a free shot. It was like,
that's awesome. Very cool.
I've never heard of someone getting a hole-in-one on a par 4.
My wife and I, then girlfriend, we had been dating for 5 or 6 years. She won she won the Circle of Excellence Award, which is really hard to get. And her, she works in the hospitality industry for a really well-known brand. And anyway, they celebrated it there. They flew a handful of people out that won the Circle of Excellence Award. All right, shout out to Krista. Congratulations once again, honey.
Shout out, Krista.
But it got me out to this amazing dude, that place is heaven. And then I got there. We played all those same courses that you probably played, and I was fortunate. Yes, dude, so and it was unbelievable. I mean, one of my favorite places, obviously, to play. But the fact that we were out there, I piggybacked, and I actually asked her to marry me out there, and it was and it's funny, dude, because.
That it blows my mind that it's the same place you asked your girlfriend to marry you.
Totally. Totally. I know. Well, and then the fact we showed the Albatross. No, dude, I'm telling you. So this goes back to what you were saying. There's something, in my opinion, there is something going on. I mean, thoughts become things. So, dude, literally, I've lived, and I sent you an email after I saw your story and I saw your videos and stuff, and I was like, I got to get you on. I mean, like I said, this should be hopefully the place everyone goes when they get an Albatross. It proved kind of that anything truly is possible. I was telling you before we got started that I hired a data scientist. For those of you who don't know, some of you guys have heard the story tons of times, but I hired a data scientist to figure out what the odds are on my shot, which was to win the tournament or tie for the win on the last shot. And it was 1 in 600 million. I took it way too far. I'm a complete lunatic with this thing. But it just to me, I wanted to know the odds because, dude, that just proved to me that really anything is kind of possible as long as you don't discount or as long as you don't just blow something off and think it's not.
And I don't know if we had talked about this before, if it was an unrecorded version, but I'm a big believer of the manifest destiny. My girlfriend and I, my girlfriend journals and wrote down every single thing we wanted in a dream apartment or house or condo, whatever it was going to be. And we're moving into a place in 7 days that is checked every single box off of those and on top of that, here's a weirder stat for anyone who doesn't believe that it works. Me and her both wrote down what we wanted to find in our dream partner. And then we found it, and we didn't think either one of us had done that. And we told each other about it about a year later, maybe saying, did you know, I journaled about you and you and I was I cool. Journaled, what? So it's a wild thing. Me and her pick a word every year, and it's what's our word for this year? What are we trying to accomplish? Last year it was uncomfortable for me, and I put myself in uncomfortable situations. I started a new career.
Did you? Give me a couple. Give me a couple real quick.
Okay, I got 2 huge ones for you.
Okay, all right.
I quit my job trying to become a semi-pro golfer to become a commercial real estate agent in Los Angeles, full of, quite frankly, some pretty toxic people in Los Angeles. But you know what? I'm going to be the happy, fun-loving, good guy here.
Dude, you're going to kill it.
Two, because I knew I had 6 months before I had to move in with my girlfriend. I moved into my parents' house at 29 years old because I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. It's going to save me money. It's going to, help me in my career. And I don't care what anyone says. It is the best thing ever.
Listen, I got 2 little ones, and I'm trying I'm going to get this podcast blown up to the point where I can build a compound, and I'm going to build their houses right next to me because I don't want them to go anywhere, dude. I love those 2.
Exactly. The word for this year was surreal. My word for this year is surreal, and I've already had countless surreal moments. I don't know how to describe it, but on top of that, I now have a freaking hole-in-one Mauna Kea flag.
So talk about the flag. Where did you get the flag? So you left the bar that no one really cared about. You bought a Jack and Coke or Jack and Diet with your dad. Shout out to, what's his name again?
Bill Boyd, legendary real estate agent in SoCal. Bill Boyd. Yeah. So Pro Shop had it waiting for me because they had heard about the hole-in-one, and so we got Steve, who got us the tee time up top. Shout out Steve. We got Erin with the greatest fucking shot ever. Shout out Erin.
He's the first believer. We love that guy.
He's the first believer. And then we got Darren, who convinced me to take that 4-iron. Thank you, Darren. We love you.
Darren, you made that happen.
And then we got Bill Boyd, so proud of our favorite son. And by the way, I'm his only son, so there's no hate here. I'm actually just his only son. And then I signed it at the top. 342, number 9, on my sister's birthday. The wildest
dude. What a cool...
And I used a yellow ball. I'm sorry, people. It's a TaylorMade 2 TP5. I'm sorry. It was yellow. It still counts. It was...
Totally. What do you mean? So no, dude, we were talking about it earlier. It's like I don't... Dude, the equipment is not what makes the golfer. It's totally the swing and everything else. Now, I'm a swing aid guru. I didn't say this to you earlier, but I'm actually going to do a whole segment on I'm just going to review. I have 30. I've counted them. I literally, tall golfer, have 37 swing aids in my garage. 37. I've got 5 right here I could show you.
Oh, let's see it. Let me see.
Shout out Divot board. Divot board. I don't know if you've used this, dude. This thing actually works. It's pretty cool. Have you seen the Divot board?
Is that the thing that shows you exactly where your club head is sitting?
Yeah. So yes, exactly. So
it's like a sequence. It's like a sequence. Yeah,
exactly. Great idea. And dude, these guys are amazing. I've bought so much snake oil, and I've bought some decent ones. So anyway, we're gonna do a whole segment on it and give our honest feedback and reviews on these things. But I brought up the fact that the longest drive on tour just happened recently with Max Homa. He broke the record. But before that, it was Davis Love. It was I mean, think about the equipment he played with. So I had these 2 guys on. Shout out to Sam and Bryce, and they have actually a swing aid, which is one of the reasons I wanted them on, because I'm going to be reviewing it and going through the process. But it's called Speed Toad, and what they do, these guys are I think Bryce last year had in competition he had won 478 or something stupid, and then Sam actually is one of 4 or 5 people on the planet that have a ball speed 240 plus miles an hour. So I'm talking to these guys. Oh, dude, it's insane. I mean, I'm talking to these guys, different level. I'm talking to these guys, and by the way, I actually asked our Corn Ferry buddy. I asked Matt Scharff. I mean, I asked them really decent golfers. Have you ever come close to? Dude, they crack 4 or 5 golf balls every session. And they actually have to, it's actually a problem because they have to think about.
What?
Yeah. Oh, dude, totally. I had them send me pictures. It is insane. I had, and I'm like, dude, I've hit some amazing, I've gotten a hold of a couple. I'm a 4 or 5 handicap. I've hit some, I hit some good drives, and I can hit the ball fairly far. Dude, I've never come close to cracking a golf ball, and they do 4 or 5 a session. Yeah.
Dude, golf balls are built to compress and withstand 200 mile an hour. But when think about it. Rory, when he smashes one, they're 187 ball speed. Absolutely beautiful from Rory there. It's okay, now add 90 miles an hour. Sorry, bad math. Add 60 miles an hour to that. Think about going 60 miles an hour in a car. You're adding that speed to Rory's drive. And
totally.
That's
Well, dude. So Cam, I think it's Cam Champ or someone. Cam Champ might have he may have the fastest ball speed on tour or one. I think he's up there. He does. Yeah. 190ish. Yeah. Okay, these guys are 50 miles an hour faster than that. I mean, I just saw Sam post something on, and they're great guys, by the way. You should connect with them. They just posted something on social where he hit a pitching wedge 212 miles, or sorry, 220 yards with like not even a pitching wedge. I think it was like a 52 degree or something. It's insane. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's casual. No, that's super casual, just an absolute
exactly.
juice pitching wedge going, mile.
Dude,
that's it. That's.
Did you go to the top of the mountain on Mauna Kea and do the expedition where you go see the stars?
Sadly, no.
Okay.
But I really wanted to, because I'm a huge space nerd.
Me too.
Dude,
all right.
So like Interstellar is my favorite movie of all time. So like, you know what? My girlfriend's gonna hate me for telling this story, but I'm gonna do it anyways. I actually have an ass tattoo of Interstellar, and so
that's great.
You know the spaceship he takes into the black hole at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So I have that spaceship going towards my black hole. And,
no, you do not, dude.
I'm not going to show it here. I'm not going to disrespect.
Come on, dude. YouTube. We're looking for subscribers. Come on, dog.
Hey, you know what? If you really want to see it, go request Tall Connor. That's my private account. I'll let you in. You can see it's on that Instagram.
All right, cool. So, all right, I'll do it. I don't know that I actually am going to do that. But no,
it's fine. You don't have to. Don't worry. You don't have to see my ass, Brandon. It's okay. You do not.
No. That. Hey, look. Not yet. Anyway, I want to court you a little bit. We need to get back out to Hawaii. I'm going to go with you. I think it'd be so much fun to go back out there and play it with you. And then let's bring the girls with this. I think they'd love it. I'm going to take you to dude, if you're that much of a star geek, dude, you got to go to Mauna Kea. Like, Mauna Kea, just for the people, I'm going to get a little off golf here. Dude, it was one of the most like crazy experiences in my life. You take this, by the way, I was actually at the beach in the water, warm water, beautiful at the beginning of the day. And then in the afternoon, evening, my beautiful bride, she arranged this because she knew how into it I was. She arranged for us to go on this van tour, and they take you and you keep going up this mountain. Now that's like a 13,000 foot elevation. If you think about it,
14,000. It freaking snows up there. I didn't even know it snowed in Hawaii. Like, what?
Totally. They give you parkas because snow was all over the ground. And then when you get up there, they pave. This is the crazy part. They paved the last mile and a half of road when you get up there, because that's where all of the high-powered telescopes are in the world. Like, I'm talking about, all the top
all the observatories.
Yes, and they're all up there, and so they don't want any dust or anything getting up there. So you get up there, and once you're up there, it's kind of hard to breathe. Like, you have to kind of like
acclimate to the weather.
Thank you. I was trying to think of the word. Thanks for saying that.
I got you.
I'm a couple drinks in. No, but I think but once you get acclimated, then you're like, oh my God, like, and then it gets dark because it's at dusk. They get you up there at dusk, then it turns dark, dude. It is. You can see, like, it's just amazing because we have a lot of light pollution here in Tampa. But I'm originally from North Carolina. Went to school at Appalachian State up in the mountains. So in Boone, I remember you could see the stars and shooting stars. It was amazing. Different level up there, like different level.
Yeah, you can see like the Milky Way up there. It's you can see the Milky Way. Like it, dude. That stuff blows. When you can see the Milky Way, I swear to God, it makes you feel so small, and it's like everything just like puts in perspective because you can literally just see this like white band across the sky. It's like what? Like,
no, dude, it is. And then there's more planets just in our Milky Way galaxy that are Earth-like than there are grains of sand in.
It's my favorite fact. It's one of my favorite facts.
Dude, that to me, like when I heard that, I'm like, what? Like that's how massive and vast it. So like anyway, but my point is we gotta go back there. So when you went to the Good tournament. You mentioned you went to the Good tournament. Tell me a little bit about it. I really wanted to go out there. We had him on, I guess it was like a week and a half before that tournament. And, again, this is just to kind of paint a picture for those who don't like connect the dots here initially. This was only a month removed from when they did the live broadcast on YouTube where, I thought the production quality on all of this is just, I don't know how they're doing it, dude. Like, it's just amazing. But I mean, what did you think? What was your experience with it?
It was amazing. I thought it was awesome. Like, it was like sprinkling a little bit here and there. It wasn't raining quite like it was at Waste Management the next day.
Was it cold?
Yeah, it was cold, but it wasn't unbearable. Like, I think I was in just regular like joggers and a like long sleeve shirt. It wasn't like, oh my God, I'm freezing.
Right. Okay.
And so I thought it was run well. I thought it was done well. I thought the fact that like there was, and this is not a knock, this is a good thing. There was like very little resistance to interaction. It was like, oh, hey, they just teed off. I'm just going to wait by their cart, whether it be Martin Borgmeyer, Johnny Manziel.
I didn't know Manziel was there. I didn't realize he was there. Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, I have a great picture with Johnny. He's the nicest guy ever. He smiled bigger than I did. He's like, he's cheesing huge. Like, he didn't have to do that. Like, he's a famous football player. Like, I don't need, So it was an awesome time. I thought it was super intimate. It was very like, hey, can I get a picture? Martin Borgmeyer, can I get a picture of Mac Boucher? Can I get a picture? Anyone. And they were all super open to it. And, because I'm so big, a lot of them were like, oh my God, like, dude, you're a giant. Even Martin Borgmeyer was like, holy crap, you're taller than I am. I was like, I thought you'd be giant. Like, I'm a little taller than you. It's awesome.
Yeah,
like,
wow.
The Bust to Jack guy is nicer than ever. Same thing. Mason Nutt, shout out to you. He was like, wow, I'm looking eye to eye to you. I was like, yes, we are. Like, I've always wanted to meet you, my man. Like, this is awesome. So I thought it was awesome. It was a really fun time. Like, they had, bars, restrooms, snacks set up kind of everywhere. It's at a grass clippings par 3, par 4 course. Like, this is supposed to be fun and interactive. It's not supposed to be waste management. It's not supposed to be some giant production. Like, NBC is here, which is wild. Like,
I couldn't believe it.
I'm standing next to this giant camera taking video. I'm like, this is like waste management, but it's a fun like Riggs and the Barstool guys. It was an awesome time. It was a really, really good time.
All right, our two main questions for me. Like everyone, when I started this thing, they're like, Panda, especially the traditionalist. He is okay with these questions. He likes more golf related, like savant questions. But this is more important to me. So, can a human being eat a golf ball and survive? Now, you're a big dude. This is actually a great question for you because
I was just thinking.
You can probably do it. Could a human being eat a golf ball and survive? Swallow a golf ball, I guess. Or eat. I mean, chew. Not a feathery, a Titleist, or one of your orange balls or yellow balls.
So, I was thinking. I was like, I'm trying to think. If I don't think you could swallow it. I don't think I'm trying to think about a big pill I've taken or like a big if you took a golf ball, you wouldn't be able to swallow it, let alone what about coming out? Dude,
coming out I think's easy. I mean, I love this question because you ask 100 people this, and 50 people are going to tell you one thing, the other 50 are going to tell you the other, and I just love it because I've flip-flopped now 12 times. I don't know, dude. I think personally, you're dying. I think you're going to suffocate when going.
I'm going no. They're
okay.
You think about digesting food, even just in your stomach. It's already dissolved as you chew it. You can't chew this thing, and it ain't dissolving in your stomach. So that is going to be
that's a hospital visit.
I'm saying no. I'm saying absolutely no. No.
So the reason this came up, dude, it's funny. The reason this came up, and shout out to Mauna Kea and the whole golf thing because they gave you a flag and stuff, dude. When I got this, I had to make my own trophy, Connor. Okay, so when I'm like, again, I thought I was gonna be famous.
Yeah,
no one cared. They did send me.
Everyone tells me I should be on some cover of some magazine. I'm like, no one cares, dude.
No, you will be. We're gonna be. I'm telling you, we're gonna make this thing. People are gonna start realizing how special it is. So, but I got an email from the club, and let me just read it to you. It says, "Dear members, we hope all member participants have recovered from a big weekend, and congratulations to all winners." But they weren't all winners, actually. Let's be honest. With that being said, we would like to recognize an albatross that was made on Pine 1 during Sunday's final round. Brandon Redding holed out his second shot with a 3-wood from 247 yards out. Please congratulate Mr. Redding on the significant achievement when you see him around the club. Now, what is wrong with that? They left something out. Please congratulate Mr. Redding on his significant achievement. He hit an albatross on the final round, Pine 1.
To come back from a 3-stroke deficit to win?
They didn't mention it. They didn't mention that. They didn't mention the most important, the craziest part of it.
Yeah.
To me, anyway. And so I'm
look, there might be football fans out there, but that's better than the Tom Brady Atlanta Falcons 28-3 comeback. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. You hit a 1 in 600 million shot. Like,
it's so lucky.
That's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Dude, it's not like, to me, I'm not even trying to brag on it. Like, all I really want is like people to realize you get it.
Whoa. This is the brag time. This is literally when you're supposed to brag.
Well,
so you brag. This is your brag
I
time.
have started a podcast about it to brag.
True.
So I can't really say that.
Fair.
But I'm just saying, so I had to make my own trophy. This is the ball. And like, I'm not good at trophy making. Like this, I'm better. Like, I'm about as good at trophy making as I am producing podcasts. But like, look, dude, like, look at this thing. It's like it. And so, but the whole reason I did this, and so the reason the golf ball scenario came up is because Panda said he has a story where it makes complete sense. He's like, and I'm like, if I get a certain number of subscribers, then I'm not going to have to work anymore, and I'll be able to talk about golf and go play golf courses and film it, and that'll be my life, right? And that'd be amazing. I won't tell the Albatross story anymore. He was like, you're mean to tell me you're not ever going to share that story with anyone. And I'm like, no. And he's like, bullshit. What are you going to do if you do? And I'm like, dude, I'm a man of my word, honest degenerate. He's like, nope. What are you going to do if you tell that story? He said, you're going to have to eat a golf ball, and you're going to have to eat that golf ball, the one that's in here. And I'm like, are you trying to kill me? Like, I think it'll kill me. Like, was that what? And so I think we've settled on the fact that, like, after I get a certain number, I don't even know what that number is. We got to figure that part out. But yeah, I'm never going to tell the story again. And he brings up this point where, like, you mean to tell me if you're playing Pine 1 with a bunch of jabronis and somehow you got paired up with them, and one of the jokers hits, a random T-ball, then he hits a second shot, it rolls onto the green, and he ends up getting a birdie, like 2 putts for a birdie. And one of the guys in the group goes, that's amazing. That's the most amazing shot or score I've ever seen on this hole. You mean to tell me you're not going to jump in and be like, wait a minute, I got an albatross to win a tournament? There's no way. And I mean,
you just got to tell people, like, around you what the bet is, so that you can just, like, point to them and be like, please don't, like, just point, all right, we're in Mauna Kea, and it's our 10th year going, and someone asks about your albatross. When I tell mine, you have to just, like, point, and I'll be like, so get this, Brandon, 18th hole, down 3, Pine 1.
Bam! Love it. I can't wait to tell your story when we're in Mauna Kea. I'll be like, dude, these two guys, Erin, they're gonna be with us, Erin and Darren. You guys are like,
they'll be with us. They'll be with us.
And then, all right. So then the other question, one more. So the other one is, are there? This is so not a golf question. I love it. My wife rolls her eyes every time she hears me tell it. Are there more eyes or legs in the world? Now, I want you to think of. You're a science guy. I can tell you love weird stuff like this. Yeah. I'm not talking about like humans, but anything that's alive. Are there more eyes or legs in the world? I love this so much. Dude, this stumped Matt Scharff, by the way. He was amazing. That golf ball question, he went and grabbed the golf ball and like put it up to his throat, kind of like you did. He was like trying to figure out. He's like, I don't know, man. He spent like 5-10 minutes on it. I loved it. It was great. He loved this one too.
So initially I was thinking like, okay, it's probably legs, because a lot of things that have 2 eyes have 4 legs or more. But then you got to take into account the ocean, which makes up way more percent of our Earth, and we don't even know the population of the entire ocean.
We're not even close to knowing, dude. That's like the greatest unknown.
On the flip side, the ocean is bigger than all the land. And like, think about driving this is for the West Coast people, from LA to like Arizona. You go through absolute nothingness. There is no legged creature. There's no eyed creature. There's no nothing. So like, I'm going eyes, because on top of the ocean, you have things like spiders, which have 8 eyes. You have like things that just, like the ocean. I think the ocean has to take the eyes thing, because if you're just accounting mammals and ants and all these other insects, like no, because everything with legs has eyes, but not everything with eyes has legs. So
yes, totally. No, so initially you're thinking like centipedes, you're thinking crabs, you're thinking like, but dude, fish don't. I'm not counting fins as legs. Fins are not legs.
No, that's not a leg. I'm sorry. That's not a leg.
Tentacles. I mean, I'll give you tentacles. Fine, take it. But I'm not going to give you like. I think you got to have legs in order to count for. So eyes, totally, in my opinion, you got thousands and thousands of species. To your point of fish that we probably don't even know about. I mean, there are a lot of legs. There are a lot, and I love questions like this. Like another one that we don't necessarily have to answer tonight. We can tackle this next time. But another one to think about. And by the way, like. What's on Jordan Spieth's mind? Like, I'm a big golfer. What's on Jordan Spieth's mind is important to me. Dude, this is way, way more important to me than like like I would much rather someone be like, tell me a definitive answer. So this one got me. So are there more doors
or wheels?
Wheels are a great one. No, you're right. Wheels are actually really good. I was thinking doors or windows, and wheels are actually, that's a really good one too. I don't know about that one.
I think I've heard the doors or wheels, but
okay.
All right, so doors or windows. The doors or windows one is good too, because like I'm looking at 2 doors that have 10 windows each, like small little, so it's like,
oh yeah. I'm looking behind you. You got three doors there. Yeah. I was a Windows guy at first. Let me tell you my mentality here. I was a Windows guy at first, but then you start thinking, you go into a big office building and you got a couple doors there when you walk in. All of the office, like you got all those offices that have doors going into the conference rooms. You've got doors that go into the kitchen. Then you go in the kitchen. Now all of a sudden, I'm counting drawers as doors. So all of a sudden you pull out like your, the silverware drawer. That's a door. You pull out the cabinet door. That's a door. You pull out, now all of a sudden, then you go into the bathroom. Now all of a sudden, all the stalls have doors. There's no windows in there. You've got like, dude, all of a sudden you start looking and you're like, I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know.
Man,
cars.
that one, honestly, that one might be the hardest one, because I think we're on the same wavelength for the ball and the fish and the eyes thing.
Yeah, for sure.
That might be one of the hardest ones, because like working in commercial real estate, I walk through doors and windows all the time. That's tough. That is really tough.
Well, dude, listen, man, I want you to think about it. You don't have to answer it tonight, but I want you to think about it. Get back to me. Listen, Connor, this has been an absolute blast. We've done this 3 times now tonight, so this is great. We had a couple false starts, but no, man, I really do appreciate it. You're amazing. Like, dude, the story is just amazing. I want this to be our thing. Like, I want anyone to get an Albatross to come on here and talk about it, because it is like it's going to sound silly and stupid to everyone else that hears it that doesn't have one, but like. It is something just so unique and crazy that it does sort of change your perspective on things. At least it did for me. And I love having people on that have had them. Dude, you know what's crazy is like here at our country club, we've got like my co-host has had one. This will blow your mind. My buddy Nick, who was there to see it go in it was waiting on us on the green. Dude, I saw him get an Albatross less than a month earlier. At like a different hole in the course. Oh, dude, I mean, what are the odds of that? Even? Like, it's just.
You want to hear a wild part too? Is that I have a friend, Nick, who has dunked a hole-in-one at my club signature hole, and there was no mark on the green, no anything. So Nick, shout out to the Knicks in the world. You guys are great golfers.
Yeah. Oh, he'll love hearing that. Yeah, no, totally. And then the other. Oh, and then let me ask you this. So I got a hole-in-one, the only hole-in-one I've ever gotten. That same summer, what a great summer that was, dude. That was like I peaked. And you know what? Brando / Albi peaked in that summer because it was crazy. So that summer I got my only hole-in-one. It was from 158 out, but it was during COVID. It was like right at the tail end of COVID, and then I had the. I don't know if you guys have had these out there, but we had like pool noodles, and they would cut the pool noodle cap off, and they put those at the bottom of the hole so people weren't like touching them. But
which was super genius, by the way.
I don't know I don't know if you guys had the curtains in the cart. Like they would put curtains, like little shower curtains. It was so great. But it went in. Like it was 158 out, wind, blue tees. It went in, and it stayed in. Like my thought was that like that's a harder shot because it could easily hit the foam and pop out.
That is way harder,
dude.
That's like that tall, like.
Dude, if I could jump through here and hug you right now, I would. Because like my friends are like, they told me they were like, well, actually, there's an asterisk with your hole in one. I mean, your albatross rib, your asterisk with because there was a pool noodle in there. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, wait, that's actually, to me, it made it harder. Like,
I thought that you were going to tell me that it was like during the time where the holes were above the ground.
Yes,
and you just,
we did have that.
I was like, okay, look, that's not a hole in one. That's not a hole in one.
No,
like,
I agree with that. I agree with that.
On a pool, like, because I remember playing with holes like that where I would hit a putt and it would roll into the noodle and bounce out.
Me too. Yes.
Harder to do that because there's less room for it to go into the hole. That's just science, people. Tell your friends they're not scientific minds. They don't understand.
I need to get new friends. I need to get new friends like you, buddy. Listen, so Connor, this has been an absolute. Anything you want to plug, man? Anything you want to throw out there? What can we do to help you? We got to support our boy here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I appreciate it. Like I said, it's the tall golfer. Shout out to Bogey Champs. They're the ones who sent me some free shirts, and I opened that package that morning, and then I wore their shirt for the hole in one. So
dude, they're part of the story too. There's so many heroes to make this thing happen. This is crazy.
There's so many heroes. Like,
what are their names? Bogey. What's their shout out? Bogey. What?
It's Bogey Champs. Like champions, Bogey Champs.
Bogey Champs. Yep. I'm a size medium/large, depending on how they're cut, but whatever.
Yeah, I was just going to say Bogey Champs, and then I think it's genuinely just a shout out to the Mauna Kea. What an awesome place. Thank you for the flag. Thank you for that. And Erin, my girlfriend Erin, Darren, we got everyone my dad, Bill Boyd, like everyone involved. It was just so surreal. Like, believe in everything you can, like everything you want, you can get. Just believe in it. I promise it's coming.
Write it down, dude. Write it down.
Like, write it down.
More importantly, just live bold. I mean, I think you already got that going for you, dude. And absolute pleasure, man. Let's definitely stay in touch. I want to go. I'm not bullshitting you, dude. Let's plan a trip. I know you guys just got back, so like I know it might be a while, but dude, let me know when you guys are planning.
Let's run it back, dude. Don't
Mauna Kea, sponsor us.
Yes, Mauna Kea, come on.
yes. No, it'd be fun, man. Well, anyway, thanks for hopping on here, dude. And until next time, we'll stay in touch. And until next time, man, appreciate you hopping on here.
Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it, and thank you for having me. This has been an awesome time.
Did I tell you about my albatross?
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Don't miss out on our upcoming golf giveaways and experiences. They're exclusive to our subscribers, and all you got to do is subscribe. And until next time, golf's easy. Think fairways and greens.
Here we go.